So in boiler design, if you see, due to the internal pressure, the rivets are going to subjected direct or tensile or shear load. Okay. And if you say, if you take the yesterday topic, the previous topic, Lorenzo joint diamond riveting, there also in diamond riveting, in diamond riveting, so this is the diamond riveting position. So here the load is applied directly. But the topic today we are discussing eccentrical loading. It means, so this one. So in this situation, the load is applied here, the load is applied here, but the rivet system is installed here. It means there is some distance from the center of this riveting system to the applied load. So such situation is eccentrically loaded riveted joints. So this eccentrical system, the rivet whatever you are applying here, generating the rivets, on this rivet we are applying the eccentric loading for this situation we are designing today. Okay. So um, eccentric loading means the application of load is does not passes through the axis of the center of gravity. It means for this riveting system, this is the center of gravity. So if our apply load our we are applying the load here, if you are applying the load here, suppose I'm drawing here, so it is passing through the centroid of the riveting system. So this is the direct loading, but we are applying the load somewhat distance. Okay. And whenever the rivets are subjected to this second shear, otherwise the rivets are the whatever the load we are applying, that is not uniformly distributed over all rivets. So this applied load is not uniformly distributed to this load, this rivet and this rivet and this rivet and this rivet. So it means the distribution of the load is not uniform or on the all rivets. So such situations when you are finding the question, so blindly consider that that is the eccentrically loaded riveted joints. Okay. So for this, the one image I shown on the screen for the eccentrical, see here, the axis of the centroid of this system is lies at this somewhere, but the load is applying here. As the total weight of the machine, due to the total weight of the machine, the centroid is going to lies here, lies here, but we are applying the load here. Okay. So for your understanding purpose, I shown the one image on the screen. So this is the picture of the eccentric loaded riveted joints. So here we are taking the four rivets for designing purpose, and all rivets are having the same size. It means this is having the d, this is having the d diameter, this is having the d diameter, this is having the d diameter. Means all are having the same size, and applying the load some distance from the centroid of this figure. And for this, the design procedure I'm explaining. The first one, we have to calculate the center of gravity. The first point in the design procedure is we need to calculate the center of gravity. To calculate the center of gravity, you already have the awareness about this to calculate the center of gravity. What is that? For x bar, What is the equation? A1 x1 plus A2 x2 plus A3 x3 plus A4 x4 by A1 plus A2 plus A3 plus A4. Okay, wow. Now the area is all for area for the all rivets is same because we are taking the same size. It means D1 equal to D, D1 equal to D, D2 equal to D, D3 equal to D, and D4 equal to D. It means all rivets having the D1, D2, D3 are the same diameter. So that's the reason here we are taking A is common one. So if you take the common x1 plus x2 plus x3 plus x4 dash dash dash. So how many areas here? Here in the diagram, four areas are appearing. If n number of rivets are there, n areas are there because all areas is same. So the reason I'm writing the n. So now the a gets cancelled. The x bar will come x1 plus x2 plus x3 plus x4 plus dash dash by n. This is x bar. In same manner, y bar y1 plus y2 plus y3 plus y4 plus dash dash by n. This is the first step in the design procedure, eccentrically loaded riveted joints. Okay, Babu, where n is number of rivets. Okay. Now the second step is in second step. Now see here. In second step, what we are doing, we are introducing the two forces. That forces name is called P1 and P2. Now P1 is the direct load. P1 is direct load. Direct load on the each rivet. Each rivet it is equal to the load. So how much direct load in on each rivet? So each rivet we need. So for that, so that is direct load on each rivet. PS equal P by N. So suppose there are four rivets, so divided the direct load by 4. If suppose there are 6 rivets are there, so divide the 6 rivets means P by 6. If there are 10 rivets are there, P by 10. Like that we have to calculate. So this the due to the direct load there is a shear stress, that is P shear is equal to P load by number of rivets. Now we are introducing the another load P2. We are introducing the P2 here. P2. So this P2 how much? For that P2, for that to calculate the P2, we are writing P into E. It means the P1 is responsible for the direct loading, means self weight. See if you see the diagram here in the previous case, so the rivets are used here to join the this vertical column and this horizontal column. So we are assembling these two columns. Due to the self weight of the column, the direct load is subjecting here. That is distributed on the all rivets, that is P1 by 8 or P by 8. So P1 by N or P by N. Now the second load, whatever we introduced here P2, that is due to the this eccentric loaded we are applying the on the system. So it means how much magnitude of P2? P2 magnitude is P into this perpendicular distance. That is P into E. P into E. So due to this P into E, due to this P into E, what happening here? This turning this P into E bending moment you are applying, there is a turning moment in the system. So the turning moment is generating in the system in the same manner of the applied load. Means the load is applied eccentrically here in a clockwise direction. So that's the reason the secondary shear is going to generate on each rivet in a same direction of the this eccentric load. It means it is applying in a clockwise direction. So that reason on the first rivet the load is generating, secondary shear load is generating on the second rivet F1 in the same clockwise direction. So direction is perpendicular to the axis, the perpendicular line to the line joining from the center of the rivet to the center of the system to this line. And the second on the second rivet, the secondary shear load is generating in this manner F2. This F2 is perpendicular to the line joining from the center of rivet to the center of the riveting center. And on the third rivet, F3 force is generating. This F3 force is perpendicular to the line center of gravity of the rivet to the center of gravity of the system. And the F4 in same manner F4 also perpendicular to the line joining from the center of gravity of the system to the center of the rivet. So because here due to the application of this load, turning moment is generating on the riveting system, total system in a clockwise direction because the load is applying in a clockwise manner. Okay. So here how much the shear load is generating, the shear load is generating. To know that shear load how much it is generating, we have two assumptions are here. The first assumption is the first assumption is the secondary load F1 or F2 or F3 or F4, these are all perpendicular to the lengths of the center of the system to the center of rivet. That is, F1 is directly proportional to the L1, F2 is directly proportional to L2, F3 is directly proportional to L3, F4 is directly proportional to L4. So that is the first assumption. The second assumption is just now I said the secondary shear forces are all perpendicular to the line joining of the center of gravity to the center of rivet. This is the one perpendicular, 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 and all are perpendicular. That is the second assumption. So based on the first assumption, if we take these two above equations, you can write this first equation as F1 by L1. From this one, F2 by L2. This one, F3 by L3. From this one, F4 by L4. So all are having the magnitude of the same this one. It means this magnitude is distributed on the all rivet equally. So that reason we can write as this one F1 by L1 plus F2 by L2 plus, sorry Amma. Now from this first assumption we can write that this one F1 by L1 equal F2 by L2 equal F3 by L3 equal F4 by L4. So if we select the first equation, this one, from this equation F2 equal F1 into L2 by L1. Now if we select the this F this F, so we can write F3 equal F3 equal F1 into L3 by L1. Now, if we select this first one and the last fourth one, F4 equal F1 into L4 by L1. Okay, so this equation we can change in this manner for F2, for F3, for F4. Now, what is the meaning of this one? All the P into E, whatever we are applying the eccentric load, is equal to the sum of all turning moments. Sum of all turning moments. What is the first each turning moment? F1 into L1, F2 into L2, F3 into L3, F4 into L4. P into E is nothing but F1 into L1 plus F2 into L2 plus F3 into L3 plus F4 into L4. Okay, it means the eccentric load, whatever we applied on the system, that is equal to sum of all turning moments. It means the system, whenever we want to make equilibrium, so we need to write this equation. So now, from in this equation, what is F2? F2 we just now we calculated F1 into L2 by L1. F2 means F1 into L2 by L1. What is F3? F3 means F1 into L3 by L1. What is F4? F4 means F1 into L4 by L1. These values just now we calculated in this here. See here. So instead of writing the F1, F2, F2, F3, F4, we are writing these equations. Now substitute these values in the above equation. In above equation, P into E equal F1 into L1 plus, in place of F2 I am writing F1 into L2 by L1 into L2 plus, in place of F3 I am writing this one F1 into L3 by L1 into L3 plus, in place of F4 F1 into L4 by L1 into L4. So in this equation, F1 is common and L1 is common. I'm taking outside F1 by L1. Now the rest of things are L1 square plus L2 square plus L3 square plus L4 square. These are all equal to the moment on the system. Okay. So from this equation, we are going to calculate the F1 value in terms of newtons. From this equation, from this equation, from this equation, we are calculating the F1 value in terms of newtons. After getting the F1 value, substitute the F1 value here, you will get the F2, and substitute the F1 value here, you will get F3. Substitute the F1 value here, you will get the F4. That is, after calculating the F1, F2, F3, F4 is going to known in terms of newtons. In terms of newtons. Okay. Now see here in this diagram. In this diagram, see here, due to the self weight, the direct load is acting on each rivet vertically downwards. And due to the eccentric loading, the secondary shear force is generating on the each rivet, that is F1, F2, F3, F4. So due to two forces acting on each rivet, there is a resultant stress. There is a resultant force, not stress. There is a resultant force that is indicating in the second diagram. See here. So due to PS and F1, the resultant force is acting here. And due to the F2 and PS, here there is a resultant force R2. Here there is a R3. Here there is a R4. So what is the reason? Due to the on each point two forces are acting. On each point two forces acting. On each point two forces acting. Here two forces acting. Due to this reason, resultant forces are generating here. So what is the resultant force here? The resultant force is the resultant force is, as you know, this equation already you know. Resultant force is direct shear square plus secondary shear stress plus 2 into direct shear into secondary shear cos theta. Okay. So if we are calculating for the first rivet R1, if we are calculating this equation same, that is R2. If we are calculating same equation for the third rivet, that is R3. If it is fourth rivet, R4. R1, R2, R3, R4. It means PS value is common to all. Only the thing is F1, F2, F3, F4 is going to change. Here also F1, F2, F3, F4 is going to change. And here theta 1, theta 2, theta 3, theta 4 is going to change. So these are all of the resultant stresses or resultant forces are generating on the riveting system. Okay. Now this resultant system totally, we are nothing but this resultant forces causes the shear stress on the each rivet. How much the shear stress? So see here the rivet is having the circular cross section, and due to the eccentric loading and direct loading, there is a shear stress is generating. So shear stress is equal shear load by shear area. Okay. So why I am writing this one? Because we are calculating the resultant. On each rivet, two forces are generating. So that reason I'm writing the instead of P, I'm writing the R. So from this, resultant force equal shear stress into area. What is the area? The area of the circular section, pi by 4 into d square, pi by 4 into d square. So among the four values, which one we have to select? The maximum R value. Here, four value we calculated here. So among the all four values, which R value we have to take? The maximum value we have to consider and submit here. Then we will get the rivet hole diameter in terms of mm. So after getting the rivet hole diameter, the rivet diameter we need to take from the table. Already I've shown in the previous class. Okay. So with this, design of eccentric loading for the rivets is completed, and riveted joint topic is also completed. Regarding today's topic, do you have any doubts? You can ask. Otherwise, we'll move to problem. Somebody is asking the important questions. First, you listen the class, Babu. Who is this one? Habib Babu. Are you there? Shansha Habib. Are you there, Babu? is not listed in the class. So regarding today's topic, do you have any doubt you can ask? Otherwise, we'll move to the solving the problem. So this is a problem given in the question. An eccentrically loaded lap riveted joint is to be designed for a bracket as shown in figure. The plate is having the 25 mm thickness. The plate is having thickness 25 mm. All rivets are to be same size. It means how many rivets are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So all rivets are having the same size. D1 equal D2 equal D3 equal dash 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 equal D. And the load is applying here. P is 50 kilonewtons. Here the load is applying 50 kilonewtons. Kilonewtons, that is 50 into 10 to the power of 3 newtons. Okay. And the C value is given 100 mm. So this is 100. This is 100. And this is also 100. This is also 100. And eccentricity value is given E value as 400. Permissible shear stress is 65 megapascal. 65 megapascal. and number of rivets are 7, and crushing stress sigma c value is given 120 megapascal. Question is asking to determine the size of the rivet to be used for the joint. It means what is the D value. So how I've shown the design procedure in same manner we have to solve the numerical also. So what is the first point in the design procedure? The first point is determine the center of gravity for this figure. So where is the center of gravity? Here or somewhere here? I don't know. So for that, the center of gravity is x bar is x1 plus x2 plus x3 plus how many rivets are there? 7 rivets dash 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 x7 by number of rivets n. Okay. So what is the distances? So here this is the reference line as x, and this is the reference line as y. Now what is x1 from this one? This is the x line and this is the y line. Now what is x value? x1, x2. Tell me the x1, x2 here from this figure. x1, x2, x3, x4, x5 dash dash x7. It means x1, where is x1? This is x1. This is the x1, x2, x3. So from this distance, x1 is the distance from the O y. So x1 how much? Anybody can guess, Babu? How much x1? Please tell me, Babu. X1 how much? Are you there? Hello. X1 0. Very good. Now what is the x2? How much x2? X1 is 0. Now what is x2? Please, what is x2? 100. Very good. What is x3? X3 how much, Babu? 200. Very good. What is x4? What is x4? Make it fast, Babu. Tell me. Just see the figure and tell me that. What is x4? Very good. 200. What is x5? X5 how much, Babu? That is also 200. And what is x6? X6 0 x7 0. What is 10 into 100? 100 into 6, what is, Babu? So why I am written the x1 as 0, x7 as 0, x6 as 0? Because the x1, x7, x6 are lies on the along the y-axis. There is no distance between the axis and this center. And the distance from the here to here x2 is 100. That is here. And from the center to the distance is 200. This is 200. This is 200 that I written here. How many number of repeats? The number of repeats is 7. So write it x bar. X1 is 0, x2 is 100, x3 is 200, x4 200, x5 200, 200 plus x is 0, x7 is 0. So no need to this one by 7. So what is x bar? Tell me the x bar. Tell me the x bar. Wow. Make it fast. We don't have time, Babu. What is x bar? 100. Very good. The same manner, calculate the y bar also. X bar you got as 100 mm. In same manner, what is y bar? Y bar is y bar equation I am writing. Y bar equal y1 plus y2 plus y3 dash 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 y7 by 7. What is y1? Y distance is the distance from the x axis to the vertical distance. So y1 how much? From here to here is the y1. Y1 how much? 100 plus 100? 200. Y1 is 200. Now what is y2? Y2 is the distance from the here to here, 200. And y3 also from the distance from here to here, that is 200. And y4 is 100, y5 is 0, y6 is 0, y7 is 100. So y2 is 200, y3 is 200, y4 is 100, y5 is 0, y6 is 0, y7 is 100. Substitute the all values in the equation here. I return and tell me the y bar value. Tell me the y bar value. What is y bar? 114.2. 114.28. It means 114.3 I'm taking mm. The first step is over. Now what is the second step? In second step we are adding the in design procedure. In design procedure we are adding the P1 force and P2 force. Introducing, not adding. We are introducing the two forces P1 and P2. P1 is responsible for the direct shear stress and P2 is responsible for the secondary shear stress. Okay. So first we are I'm calculating direct shear stress. So P1 I'm calculating. P1 is nothing but direct shear stress. P1 responsible for the direct shear stress. That is direct load by number of rivets. Direct load is given in the question 15 to 10 to the power of 3 by number of rivets is given in the question 7. The total how much each direct load on the rivet. Tell me the answer. PS value. Make it fast, Babu. What is PS? Make it fast, Babu. क्लास चल रही है अभी इधर फिर कैसा What is PS? Please tell me, Babu, what is PS value? Make it fast. 7142. Very good. 7142 newtons. Now the second force P2 I introduced here. This P2 is responsible for the secondary shear force, that is F2. That is, sorry, not F2, F. It means how many Fs are there here for this figure. How many F secondary shear forces? There are seven secondary shear forces. First one is the F1 here, F1, F2, F3, F4, F5, F6, F7. Seven secondary shear forces are there. So to know the secondary shear forces, first we need the eccentric load how much. So sec secondary shear force, to know the secondary shear forces, first we need to know how much eccentric force load is acting on the system. That is 50 into 10 to the power of 3 into eccentricity, how much given in the question? Eccentricity E value is given 400 mm. Now what is P into E magnitude, Babu? E value, sorry, E value is 400, Babu. E value is 400. How much eccentric load? 20, 20 into 10 to the power of 7 means 20 into 10 to the power of 6 Newton mm. This is a turning moment on the nothing but eccentric load on the system, 20 into 10 to the power of 6. Now see here, now see here, centroid for the system we calculated. X bar is we calculated as 100. It means X bar is it here. Here is the X bar from the Y2. This is the 100. Now how much Y bar? Y bar we got 114.7. It means up to here 100, somewhat 10, 7. It means the center of gravity is here. From here to here is 114.3, and from here to here 100. That is center of gravity G. Now I am connecting the all center to the center of gravity. This is the first rivet, second rivet, third rivet, fourth rivet, fifth rivet, sixth and seventh. The center I am joining to the center. This center I am joining directly. This center I am joining directly. This one I am directly joining. This one I am directly joining in this manner. Okay. Now first one we calculated direct shear load, that is PS. That is PS. All red color loads are PS, Babu. Okay, and due to this, the due to the second due to the eccentric loading, there is a turning moment in the riveting system. The turning moment is the same manner, means in the how the we are applying the eccentric load here, in the same manner the turning moment is also generating. So here turning moment is generating in a clockwise manner because the load is applying in a clockwise direction. So that reason the turning moment on the first rivet is clockwise direction, that is F1. This F1 is perpendicular to this line. The second one is F2. This one is perpendicular to this line. Third one is F3, perpendicular to this line. Fourth one is the F4, perpendicular to this one. Fifth one is the F5, perpendicular to this line. And sixth one is the F6, perpendicular to this line. F7, perpendicular to this line. Okay, on each point two forces are acting. One is a direct force, one is a secondary shear force. Secondary shear force is the reason the eccentric load we are applying on the system. Okay, now as a according to design procedure, what is F1? To know the F1 first, what is F1? P into E equal F1 by L1, L1 square plus L2 square plus L3 square plus L4 square dash 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 dash. How many L's are there? L7. L means this one, Babu. I'm showing with red color. This is L1. This is L2. This line is L4, L3, L4, L5, L6, L7. Okay. So this L1 how much? We don't know. L2 how much? We don't know. L3, L4, all L values we have to calculate. Okay. So to know this one, to calculate the L1, L2, L4, how much the distance here to here, that is given as otherwise separately I'm drawing this triangle here outside. So this distance is given in the question only 100. Now here to here how much? It means from here to here. How much, Babu? So to know this value, total from here to here is 100. Sorry, 200. Now centroid we got 114.3. So it means if you subtract that 114.3 from 200, then we will get this answer. This answer will get. Tell me the 200 minus 114.3 how much? Tell Babu, make it fast. Tell me Babu, what is the length of this side? 200 minus 114.3, Babu. Why you are taking too much time? 85.64. Very good. 85.64. So as according to Pythagoras theory, 100 you know, this side value you know, and this side value also you know. Only the unknown value L1. So now tell me the L1 value as per the Pythagoras theory. Make it fast, Babu. L1 value in terms of mm. Make it fast. There is nothing new one here. All are you know. Apply the Pythagoras theory. There is a two side, three sides are there. Two sides are you know, and unknown L1 value we don't know. Tell me the L1 value. Make it fast. What is L1? 131.6. Very good. 131.6. Now, in same manner, calculate L2. In same manner, calculate L2. L2 how much? Anybody? Please guess the answer. What is L2? What is L2? The L2 is nothing but L2 is nothing but the distance from the second rivet to from this rivet to this distance is the L2. So how much this distance? This distance just now we calculated, that is L2. From out of 200, if you subtract 114.3, how much that one? 85.64. That is L2. 85.64 mm. Now what is L3? What is L3, Babu? What is L3? So separately I'm drawing here this rectangle. I'm drawing here separately outside. This is G. This is a third rivet. Third rivet is having the two forces. One is the F3. One is the direct shear. And this is the L3. This value is given in the question as 100. This value we got as 85.64. Now what is L3? L3 also same whatever you got the L1, because L1 we got the answer this side, left side. This is the L1. Now L3 is the this one. It means if we calculate the L1, L3 is also same. So that is L3. Now what is L4? What is L4, Babu? So L4 I'm showing here. See here. So this is the center I'm joining. So this separate I'm drawing here. This is the fourth rivet. PS directly vertical and then downwards, and F4 is acting in this manner. This is L4, and this is how much? This is given in the question 100. This one how much height? This one is how much height? This one is from the 114. From the 114, this is a total height 114.3. Now here to here 100. So if you subtract minus 100, how much? 14.3. 14.3. This is a central gravity system. Now what is the L4? Make it first. What is L4? Tell me, Babu, L4 value.